Who would have thought one ordinary piece of fermented dough could become 4 completely different street food favorites? This vendor has figured out how to turn one simple ingredient into an entire menu. The same dough becomes crispy sausage rolls, fluffy fried dough sticks, sweet red bean rolls, and finally, classic donuts. No expensive ingredients, no complicated equipment, just basic dough, hot oil, and seriously practiced hands. The first transformation begins with several dozen thick sausages. The vendor removes them from their packaging, dusts them lightly with flour, then quickly tosses everything together until every sausage gets an even coating. Next comes the fermented dough. After kneading it to release excess air, he divides it into smaller portions and rolls each one into a long, thin strip. Then comes the clever part. He wraps that strip around each sausage, winding it tightly from one end to the other until the entire sausage is covered in a thick layer of dough. An ordinary sausage has suddenly turned into a giant dough-covered snack. But to make that coating seriously crunchy, the wrapped sausages are briefly moistened before being rolled through breadcrumbs until completely covered. Then they hit the hot oil. The moment they enter the fryer, the dough begins puffing up and setting around the sausage, slowly developing a deep golden color and a crisp, textured crust. When you bite into one, the outside gives way with a satisfying crunch, followed by soft, fragrant dough and a juicy, savory sausage hiding in the center. And that's only the first creation. The vendor grabs another portion of the same fermented dough and rolls it into long strips. This time, there is no sausage and no filling. The dough goes straight into the hot oil. Almost instantly, the strips expand and stretch, becoming long, golden fried dough sticks with lightly crisp exteriors and soft, airy centers. It's simple, but the texture is exactly what makes them so addictive. And if you're still watching at this point, don't just scroll away, tap that like button, because the same humble dough still has 2 more transformations waiting for us. The vendor takes another portion of rested dough and presses it into a smooth, flat sheet. A generous layer of silky red bean paste is spread inside, shapes it into a neat roll, and lowers it into the hot oil. As it fries, the outside develops a delicate golden crust and a toasted aroma. A lightly crisp shell surrounding warm, soft dough packed with sweet, smooth red bean filling. But there's still one final transformation, the classic donut. The remaining dough is rolled into a large, even sheet. A mold is pressed down quickly, producing rows of perfectly shaped donut rings. One by one, they're dropped into the fryer. The heat makes them puff up almost immediately, and the vendor repeatedly turns them so every side develops an even golden finish. Soon, those flat pieces of dough have become soft, airy, golden donuts. And that's the impressive part. 4 completely different snacks, all created from the same basic fermented dough. A crispy sausage roll, a simple fried dough stick, a sweet red bean pastry, and a classic donut. There are no luxury ingredients here, and there isn't a room full of complicated machinery. The real trick is knowing how to manipulate one piece of dough through different combinations of wrapping, shaping, frying, and temperature control. That's what makes this kind of street food so fascinating. The best snacks aren't always created with expensive ingredients or flashy presentation. Sometimes, it's an ordinary ingredient placed in the hands of someone who has spent years mastering exactly how it behaves.